So today we're going to fit Bella for a gentle leader, and that's going to help to give extra control during walking. It will discourage pulling on the leash. It's going to fit her around her nose and behind her ears, and then your leash is going to come off underneath her chin. So it's going to make it so that you can turn her, using your leash, turn her around really easily because you'll have control over her head. The first part of fitting the gentle leader is to fit the collar part that goes around her neck, and it's really important that the collar part fits snugly. If the collar part is too loose, it'll slide, and that'll create chafing over the top of her nose or on the sides of her jaw. So we want to make sure that it's snug so that it can't slip around. Hi, yeah. And she's going to get lots of treats for her efforts today.
She will like that.
Yes. So, hi, you want a little something? I'm just going to go from underneath. Good girl. I know I got to go behind your ears, huh? You for you. You'll feel she has a little knob on the back of her skull up here. We want the gentle leader clip to be all the way up here against the base of her skull. And then on the front of her neck, stuff like her collar, that's fine. On the front of her neck, her Adam's apple is this bump right here. We want the D-ring to fit above her Adam's apple. Okay, so it's going to be pretty snug. So it's still just a little bit too loose. What'll happen, you can see I can get 2 fingers under here. Yeah. When it's properly fitted, I'll just barely be able to get 1 finger underneath that strap. Good girl. Good girlie. Good girl. I know you know where my cookies are, don't you? Good girlie. So now I can just kind of barely get the tip of 1 finger under there. And it's sitting well up above the bump on her throat, that Adam's apple. Okay. Hi. So the next part that we're going to fit is the nose loop. And the nose loop is also totally adjustable. The nose loop is going to be loose enough that it can slide from the corner of her eye to the top of her nose leather. Sit for me. Good girl. So it's going to be able to slide from here all the way down to the edge of her nose leather. It just needs to be tight enough that it can't quite slip off. So she'll still be able to eat, drink, pant, carry her ball, all those kinds of things with the nose loop on. First, I'm just going to let her practice wearing the nose loop a little bit before I fit it completely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the loop, I'm going to feed her through it. Good girl. And then when I take the loop off, I'm going to stop feeding. Oh, good for you. Is that good? Hi. Oh, good for you. Is that good stuff? And then I'm going to stop. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Good girl. Is that good stuff? So now that she's fairly comfortable with you putting it on, I'm just going to fit for size. I'm putting that D-ring right above her Adam's apple, right where it was. I'm just going to test it to see slipping down. Okay, perfect. So I'm holding that spot with my fingers. There's a sliding clip here that we can use to lock it to the size that we want, just by snapping it. Okay, good girl. So when we go to put it on her, a couple of things. The first thing is we're going to make sure she gets lots of treats and she gets her ball and this kind of stuff because we want her to really like it. Some dogs think that having something on their face is pretty weird at first, and it's worthwhile to get them used to it gradually. The other thing is that I'm going to try to avoid reaching like over the top of her head or looming over her because that can be a little scary, but it's a real natural position for putting it on. So I'm putting her off to the side a little bit just to make it so that I'm not like intimidating her. The other thing to note about this, is that when it is not on, it comes loose and it makes kind of the letter T. And there's a double D ring here. If you push up, that will make it, this good girl, if you push up, that'll make it so that you can open the nose loop and put it on. So when you first try, it's not going to look like you can do anything, but then you'll be able to open it. Hello. Hello, come here. Oh yeah, free cheese, come here. Good girl. So I'm going to do that same process. I'm going to have the cheese. I'm just going to do this, and then from underneath, I'm just going to reach up behind her ears and clip it. And she thinks that's a little weird. Oh boy, look what you get. Yay for you. Good girl. Then I'm going to test it. And when I try and wiggle it, it doesn't wiggle, it doesn't slide around. That's going to save her from getting any kind of rubbing. Do you have your ball?
Yes.
Oh, look what this is. Oh, come here. Oh. get it. You can see she can pick up a ball. Oh, you can even catch your ball out of midair, huh? Good girl. Oh, you get it. Oh, good dog. Good girl. Good girl. Thank you. Yeah, good girl. So I'm just going to take it off. I'm just going to take it off and I'm going to feed at the same time.
Okay.
Because sometimes that loud noise is right next to their ear ball.
Right.
So now we're going to trade, and you're going to try to put it on R. You need some treats?
Yes, please.
I have lots. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll put this away.
Yes.
It's gone.
Bamboo.
Good girl. Let's start out. So just let her eat through the loop. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I know it's hard because it's snug. There you go. Good.
Ooh, good girl.
Girl.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Nice work.
Oh, and if you want to do ball for it, you can. Oh, boy.
Yay,
Good girl. Did you get your
girl.
ball?
Come over here.
Good girl.
Come over here.
Good girl.
Yay,
Did you
good
get
girl.
it? Good girl.
Get that good girl. Yay.
Yeah. So when I first started using this with dogs, I put it on, give them their breakfast, take it off, put it on, give them their dinner, take it off, put it on, do ball just like you're doing, take it off, just so that she thinks that it's pretty awesome. Good girl. And then for the first few times, I always feed when I take it off.
Okay.
Just so that they get used to it, because the ears of the dog are really sensitive, and I don't want it to be A, really loud for them, or B, it's just a really sensitive area to touch, and I don't want her to think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
Perfect. Now that Bella's pretty comfortable wearing the gentle leader, we're going to just talk about ways that it's safe to use and unsafe to use it in order to guide her when you're walking her. One of the things that you really want to remember is never to jerk on it or yank on it, never pop the leash when she's wearing it, because I don't want to cause any stress on her neck. Okay? If you're going to use pressure that's going to be effective, we can use a little bit of pressure to the side, and if I'm going to do pressure to the side, I usually run my hand down the leash, and then just pull to the side. Yay, good girl, pull to the side a little bit, and she moves right away when I do that. The other thing that I can do is I can just pull straight up a little bit. Good girl. She's like, oh yeah, give me the treats. Good girl. Here. Just pull up a little bit, and she'll sit just responding to that little bit of pressure. Good girl. One thing that's not very effective is if we pull straight backwards. Notice that she's leaning into that pressure. Her neck through here, her neck gets all stiff. It's because we're not using the gentle leader to its best advantage. Okay. This just puts pressure across the bridge of her nose and causes her to pull more. Okay. So to the side or up, not to the back because it won't help, and no popping or jerking. Okay. So I put a couple of things on the ground. There's a little bit of food in that one, a couple of toys, just so that I can show you how to practice steering her away from things that you don't want her to get into. Okay. I'm going to have you step back just a little bit so I don't run you over. I'm going to show you, and then I want you to practice with her as well. Here, Bella. Good girl. Let's go. And I just am having a nice slack leash between me and the dog. I'm going to walk her over and let her see that. I'm just going to run my hand down and move to the side. Yes, good girl. Move to the side a little bit. And she's like, all right, sweet, I can do that. Good girl. So slapping the leash is kind of like the letter J between me and Bella. Good girl. What's that? Good girl. Good girl. Very nice. Very nice. I know. What's that? Good girl. I can just pull up slightly. Yes, good girl. And it takes her nose right off of that distraction, even though it's food. That tiny little pressure just with 2 fingers is all that's required to change her trajectory. What's that? Good girl. Good girl. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right. So there she is. You're just going to keep some slack in the leash. Just walk her over, let her check, and I just want you to practice steering her away. Good girl. Just slide.
Oh, good girl.
Good girl.
Nice.
Good girl. And then give her back that slack because you took all the slack out. There you go. Good girl. It's hard. She's like a feather on the leash with that thing.
Yeah, she is. It's awesome.
You're like a feather. Good girl. Good girl.
Girl,
Nice.
nice.
Very
Yeah.
good girl.
What are those? Good girl.
Yay. Good girl.
Nice work, Bella.
Good girl. She's doing a nice
Say
job.
hi.
Hi. job using your voice to reinforce her making a right choice to turn towards you, and obviously you're doing a good job with your treats as well. Your timing of reinforcement is really nice.
Nice.
Awesome, and she turned right towards you when you turned away, so she's picking that up right away. And even then, she leaned into it. You had a little side pressure. She leaned right out of it. Good girl. That was a good job redirecting her. And if she does try to rub it like that, just redirect her into doing something else. So like have her sit or offer her a treat down.
Bella, let's see it.
Exactly.
Good girl. Can you
Good
down?
girl. Oh,
Girl,
what a
can you
good
see it?
girl.
Oh, good girl.
What a good job.
Nice.
Exactly. If she gets distracted by it, just redirect her. It won't take long for her to get over that process.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good
I know.
girl.
Good
Nice
girl.
work.
Very nice.
Good girl.
Excellent. Good job.
All right.